Okay, we're over at Mannheim right now. I just came in through the gate. Now, one of the things I'm going to let you in about on a little secret about going to Mannheim, I buy my cars on auction online, but I go over the day before and do my inspections. Now, this is real cool and information for you to know. I can inspect tomorrow's inventory, everything that's going through the sale tomorrow, up until midnight tonight. I can go in, I can test drive the cars, I can do my auto checks on them and do my homework. I even go back, check the retail values of the car, check the MMRs, and make up my mind what I want to bid on tomorrow. And then I put my number on it and I stop my bidding when I get to the point that I feel that I'm just not going to make any money on it. Now, a few things I want to remind you of when you're going into Mannheim is you want to come into Mannheim and you're going to ask the passenger. You don't have to wait, they'll be booking in cars, but you're going to go to the gate and you're going to ask the gentleman at the gate for you want an inspection hat. And you pick up that hat, goes to the top of your vehicle, and you can drive your vehicle right on into all the cars and take your time and inspect them. We're here now. We got here about 5 or 6 minutes ago. We can inspect as many cars as we want to up until midnight tonight. Now, like I said, when you go through to the gate, you just tell the person at the gate that you're looking for an inspection hat. As you can see, I've driven right on in here, and now we're just walking around or driving around finding something that interests us. Okay, driving through, I found this 2001 Jeep. Of course, your Jeep Wranglers are always good merchandise. So I stopped. I'm going to inspect this vehicle out. I'll go back tonight to get in my computer and I'm going to put the serial number in. I'm going to do my auto check. I'm going to do my visual inspection here, check out the motor, rust, the body, and all that, and then I'll put my numbers on it tonight and see what I can get it for. Now, main thing I want to do is go right in here to the serial number and get a close-up of it. I can also do this online when I get in tonight. This will be in the run number, and I can pull the serial number off there and do my auto check there. Okay, walking around the Jeep here, the body looks in pretty good shape, not beat up, not a lot of rust on it. Again, this is a 2001 model. The things that I'm taking into account for is that all the tires are good. It's on the matching rims and all the tires match. Got a real good deep tread on them. As I said again, it looks like we got a few surface scratches that we'd really need to detail this thing out. But the good thing about it, you can put a paint job on this Jeep and make it look pretty darn sharp. A paint job I can get here in Murfreesboro for around 400 bucks on this Jeep. Looks pretty good. Doesn't look like we got any major body work to do. Looking at the top, looks pretty good. Of course, you got a hole in the spare tire cover. The bumpers on it look good and straight. They can be painted up, made something pretty slick. We want to remember we are coming into hunting season. So this Jeep may be something that we can get to hunters. My goal is to try to have it retail ready around $6,500 to $7,000. Okay, this thing looks like it has been parked in a lime field. It is nasty under the hood. It's going to need a real good detailing. Keep in mind, we're going to check it out and make sure that it will start. Shane, if you'll go inside and fire it up for me. Keep in mind that this is stuff you're dealing with a Jeep here, and so it's probably going to bring big money, more than you would think anyway. Won't turn over. The battery seems to be dead on it, so we're going to go jump start it here in a minute and see what we got there. We boosted it off and it started right up. A little loose in the engine. I can't tell whether it's a lifter noise or whatever on it, but it's not that noisy. I think it's just something loose. I don't think it's anything internally wrong in the engine. Up underneath, no leaks. Bottom of it looks pretty good. There's one little leak that looks like it might be coming off power steering or something, but all in all, it looks pretty good. Not a lot of rust. This Jeep can be cleaned up. Now it's just a question of what a person wants to put into it. They're just amazingly high. The 4-cylinder does hurt it, so you got to keep that in mind. When you're buying a 4-cylinder Jeep, just got to keep in mind that it's for a hunter or something like that. Somebody just don't want to go fast. Okay, we're driving it now. What you hear is the seat buzzer going off. It's stopped now. Jeep's got 124,000 miles on it. Got one of the fancy radios and all that in it, and there's the remotes to it. Inside of it's not too bad. Shane, how does the clutch feel?
Clutch feels good.
Shifting through all the gears okay?
Yeah.
Power steering feel okay?
Drives and rides nice. Brakes are good.
Okay.
Turning rate is good. Check the 4-wheel drive out.
Gonna check the 4-wheel drive out now. See what we've got here. Drops it into low. Okay, now one thing when you're checking 4-wheel drives is you want to check them in your turns. You pull a little forward and cut a hard 360. Feels fine, crawling a little bit like it should, going to the right. Checking it out. This is what you want to do, is this, if they're going to pop and make any noise, they're going to do it deep in the turn. So always on a 4-wheel drive, check it real hard, go deep. So the low works good. Let's check the high. Seems to be doing fine. 4-wheel drive on the vehicle is fine. It looks like somebody, the dealer, has just taken the vehicle in and just decided to not detail it, just put it out here and see what it will do. So we're going to look at it on, do all of our numbers tonight. I'll show you how I run my numbers on something like this, and we'll get that on the video as well. Okay, all in all, the Jeep checks out pretty good. Now I looked up the MMR on it, and on this Jeep here is like $4,100, and these things really have a huge following. The driver's seat's a little tore there, but all in all, there's going to need to be about $500 spent on this Jeep to make it just really nice. And you got to keep in mind then you've got a 4-cylinder Jeep, but you know, this is something that you can ask $7,000 for this Jeep after you've got it ready, and you're not going to scare a lot of people off. They're just used to seeing them bring big money. Okay, we're back in my little home office now, and I've come back in, and here's the Jeep that we just looked at Mannheim. The MMR is 4875 on the Jeep, so this is where we are right now. Now we're going to do our homework as far as whether or not we can create a profit out of this. Now, I had a question asked to me yesterday while we were at Mannheim by Nolan, and he said, well, which cars are the best cars to buy? And that's a very common question that I get asked. You got to remember that every car that you look at an auto auction has sold to somebody before. So it's not necessarily the car as much as it is the condition of the vehicle. Just with any investment, you want to reduce your risk, and that is what we do here, is we learn how to reduce our risk by doing our homework. So basically what I've done is I've flagged this Jeep now in my workbook at Mannheim, as you'll notice here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to copy and paste the serial number in to auto check. Auto check is the industry standard. Of course, there's Carfax, but auto check has some things in it that are I use it because I get a little bit better price from auto check. I'll go into that a little bit later with you about using auto check. But anyway, we put in our uh, passwords here with our auto check, and we log in. And basically what we're going to do is paste our VIN number there, and we're going to get a report on this Jeep. Okay, it's had 2 accidents reported on it. It's had 4 owners, but look at this score, 95 out of a possible 59. So the score is great on it. The odometer checks out, the title checks out, everything's clean there. The accidents bother me a little bit, but to tell you the truth, it's a Jeep, and so, you know, they're just notorious for people getting in accidents. Now we scroll on down here, and we see here that in '02 the vehicle was titled in Tennessee. It's never been further north than Kentucky, so it shows the accident reports here. It may have been vandalism. There's not really anything major on it as far as any rebuilt titles, so that part of it looks pretty good. I'm still a prospect on the Jeep. You know, my idea, if I can buy this Jeep in the $4,000 range, and I'll be videoing the sale as it comes through as well, and see what the Jeep actually brings at the auction. But so far, so good. Now, if you are a member of our network, you have access to something here that I'm going to show you as well. Within our network, we have a free website that you use, which is a retail website actually, but it's got some great benefits in it. And so I'm going to go to that website, which is our retail website, and bring it up, and it's this. Now, when we go in down here, we're going to log in as a dealer, and this is something that all of our wholesalers have access to. Some, not many use it, to be honest with you, but for me it's very important because I like to know, again, I build my investment opportunities right here. So one thing that I do after I've done my auto check and there's nothing that has turned me off completely on the vehicle, I'm going to go here and I'm going to click add a vehicle. Now what I want to do again is I'm going to paste my serial number here. This will automatically fill in the parts that I'm interested in, or the details on the Jeep here. We put in the mileage, and we put in our color here, and a few details. But the main thing that I'm after here is I want to view the averages of this Jeep across the state or across the country with cars for sale. We use carsforsale.com as our retail site. But look here, the average 2001 Jeep with 124,000 miles on it across the nation right now, and everything in cars for sale, is $10,238. So this Jeep is not going to bring $10,238 in my opinion, but this Jeep could possibly bring exactly what I said in the $7,000 to
to $8,000 range. This is a good number to play in with when you're selling a vehicle. And when you're buying a vehicle, one thing that you have to remember is you have to start selling it from the minute you start considering buying it, because you may like the vehicle, you may want to drive the vehicle, but it all boils down to this. So this is a big factor for me, that if somebody walks up to me, or if I put the car on Craigslist or somewhere like that, that when people go to compare, they're going to find the average 2001 Jeep in the 9 to 10 to possibly $11,000 range. So that's very important to me. So that's one way that I do my homework. So now that I've got everything put there, I know I've got a good auto check, I know I've got a strong retail value on the car. Now it's to go back and get online and look and see what the vehicle is going to bring through an auction, and I'll be videoing that and bringing it to you as well.